Let's just go ahead and switch to the actual game now. I'm just going to host on YouTube tonight instead of bothering with Twitch. It seems Twitch is being all goofy. Also, it's not doing the weird 3D 360 bullshit, is it? Let me double check. Apologize in advance. I want to make sure we're looking good here. Alright, alright. Looks decent. Okay.
The past is more.
Alright. I should have done the thing. That's right. If you guys want to see the intro video, we'll show it another time. Alright, so I did try showing this the other day, but my internet was being weird or something. But anyways, we're going to be playing as Charlemagne. It's a video I'm working on right now as well. It's going to be pretty funny, hopefully, if I can get it fully edited. But I'll just showcase a little strategy. It's pretty obvious if you take a look at it. First glance, we're going to be focusing on military and science buildings because they'll give us happiness. And we get cavalry units whenever we enter a celebration. But if we have enough happiness, we just generate celebrations, which is going to be a pretty cool combo. And then beyond that, once we actually have a celebration, we'll get bonus combat strength to our cavalry units. Really cool. And then we're going to pick our mementos here. You get this really early on. I think this is his first one, called Joyous. Every single cavalry unit you have will provide you even more happiness. So it's a big vicious chain. Well, I guess it's not vicious, but you know. And then for your second memento, it doesn't really matter. You can do science if you really want to try to rush to get your techs up so you can get that cavalry a little bit sooner, which is definitely a viable strategy. I'm a big fan of the extra sight from Imago Mundi. Also, Colado Tizona, especially if you're going to be going on higher difficulties where you'll be spammed with a lot of units. So there's a lot of good different ways to go about it. I'm going to go with the extra sight just because it's really nice to have. And then, so the things we need to look out for is science, cavalry, and happiness. So just quickly looking at any of these, civs, none of them really stand out except for the Marians. And we'll show this in a second. Because otherwise the game tries to recommend you being Greece. There's some happiness here, so that could be useful. Same thing with Rome. But the Marians, they get their own special cavalry unit here. A lovely elephant. Gets extra bonuses against fortified districts, so we can just stomp those cities even quicker. We get even more happiness from just our settlers whenever they settle new settlements. And then our unique buildings also generate tons of happiness as well. So it's going to be a party over in India with a Charlemagne Maria. Otherwise, you could feasibly go with any of the other civs, whichever's to your liking. But the main thing we need is... Oh, can you get a rundown of civ? I've only seen people play it. Alright, well, let's get into a match first, and then I'll explain it for you, buddy. Basically, I guess the gist of civ is you start off as a ruler or civilization. In this game, it's a little bit different compared to other games. You'd pick a civ, say, like, you were playing America, and then you start in the Stone Age as if you were American, or whatever. And you last throughout the ages as you try to conquer the world with your primitive Americans. And then, as you advance, you get new technologies and things like that. This game's a little bit different, however, because you do pick off a leader to last the whole time, like you do normally. So, like, say, imagine George Washington and the ancient, ancient Egyptians and stuff, just duking it out with all of them, and then making his way to World War II, that kind of thing. But in this game, you do have the leader just as before. However, we can play as any other civ in the game. Well, not any other, but most civs. And in this game in particular, there's 3 different ages. The Antiquity Age is like the ancient era. You got Exploration, which is like, colonization period, and then Modern, which is, modern. Probably like World War I-ish, like Renaissance area. Well, it says Industrial Revolution, so anytime after that. Alright, so the way this game works, and specifically with 7, is you start off with one of these starting civs, and you'll evolve into the next one. And based on what your choices are throughout the game, or whatever civs you pick, or your leader, it'll give you access to different civs in the later eras. So while we are playing as the Marians for our first age, we're going to end up going with Charlemagne's, which is the Normans. As you can see here, by just picking him, you unlock a Norman. But that's something for later. We're not going to worry about it too much. Let's go ahead and get into a game. We're going to play on Deity, the hardest difficulty, and we'll just go straight into it. Keep everything, all the other options standard. Dude. What's going on? Is my stream being all fucky? That's being stubborn. Damn it. Ooh, it's a pretty nice start here. I like the way this looks so far. Alright, so as you can see, we have a founder, which is like a settler. So we're going to make our first city here. And just by just a quick glance, you can actually see different resources on the map too. Each of these different tiles will give us different yields and stats and such and resources. But you can see it easier by using these lenses over here. The UI is also a big jarring issue too in Civ 7, so I'm getting used to it. And it's going to take a little bit to get used to, especially after you're coming from Civ 6 and Civ 5, so it'll take a moment. The devs have said they're going to be working on it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go to yields, and then resources, see what's nearby. I guess the yields aren't too important, but just right off the bat, we got Kowlin here, as well as elephants, and more elephants. So that's actually not too shabby. That's going to help us produce wonders later, which is going to be really nice. Resources in this game work a little bit differently than they do in 6, but we'll get there as we start gathering them. For now, I'm just going to settle my city right here because I really like the way this looks. We have a really lovely river over here, meaning that when troops try to attack us from like any of these directions, they'll have to go into the water then to attack us, and we'll do extra damage to them while they're in the river. So that's going to be really sweet. So hopefully our enemies come from the north and not from the south. And then starting off, when you found your city, you can make a scout or warrior. I highly suggest going scout in the early game. It's very vital to get information on where your enemies are or potential resources. And more important, these little buildings right here called discoveries. They are awesome. If you've played Civ before, they are the villages, or goody huts as people call them, and they give you all kinds of lovely bonuses. And then for the strategy for this build, we need to rush to get our wheel, rush to our technology to get the wheel so we can get our lovely elephants, or the Pura Betura, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sure I'm butchering it. In which case we need to get pottery, animal husbandry, masonry, irrigation, and then the wheel. However, I'm probably just going to go pottery first, and then go into writing, just so we can get some more science buildings going on, because we'll get access to building the library, so it's just similar to Civ 6 in that case. We're going to go pottery, writing, and then we're going to rush all the way to the wheel. So starting off, we'll go with pottery. And then we made our scout, we're going to have him go up here, and we're going to make another scout, and then go to the south. Pretty standard play the first couple levels. And then the cool things about the goody huts in this game, there's a bunch of different variations, but each of them will give you different options to pick from when you first acquire them. This one in particular, it will give us happiness, or if we take a little bit of damage to our scout here, we'll get a bunch of culture. And honestly, I think I'm going to go with the culture first, because getting happiness right now is not really going to do anything until we get those cavalry and then also our government. So I'm going to rush for culture first, which will get us to our chiefdom, which will let us pick our government, and then more importantly, we'll be able to start picking stuff on the street. So we're going to go take the damage to our scout. Hopefully we don't get killed. He'll be fine, hopefully. Alright, now that we got a population in our city, we're going to go ahead and advance our growth in a certain direction, probably towards one of these resources. I think I'm going to go aim for getting the cowl in here, as well as the elephants first. So we're going to go to the right down here, and then make our way over there. Alright, and now that we got that one out of the way, I'm going to move the scout right here, just so we can get past these mountains a little bit, and then we're going to use this search button. It's one of the scout's new skills. It'll increase our sight by a ton because we have the memento for it, but also it'll still increase it a decent amount. But more importantly, it'll look for discoveries that are further off, whether it's a wonder or if it's the little goody huts. And the reason I wanted to get past the mountains here is because they block your vision. So yeah, it looks like we got, so as you can see, we have a block vision there and there. And then we have goody hut here in the water, over there in the water, and we have one over here to the left. So we're going to have them head that direction. Also, looks like we revealed even more ivory. Dang, we have tons of ivory. We can go ahead and switch here to our lenses, look at settlers to see what kind of cities we might want to consider making. Typically, you want to try to make them in the green areas, because that'll give you fresh water, which means you have more happiness in your city, so that way they don't rebel. However, there are horses and pearls here, so maybe there's if there's a nice source of water here, maybe we could put a good city here. Otherwise, we probably consider going over this way towards the fish here. Although we see a lot of red here, that means there's another civ nearby, either a civ or a city-state, which are neutral factions. They can either be friendly or hostile. However, with enough influence points, which we have up here, we can invest that into them and then make them friendly, even if they are hostile. Although if they are hostile initially, it'll take a little longer in order to acquire them, to be your friends. Alright, let's go and turn this off so it's easier to see. Yeah, so generally as you're using your scouts to move around, you want to try to get these goody huts in the beginning before your enemies do, and then also kind of give an idea of where the enemies are, as well as neutral civs and other places you want to build your new cities. Because the purpose of the game is to make your cities, grow your cities and your population, make armies, and then conquer the world. Or perhaps you want to be really peaceful and you just want to be a total nerd and just do the science route. That's totally a viable option as well. I am liking how mountainous this terrain is, so we could probably make some really defensive cities here, and maybe get some choke points here, so that way when the AI inevitably comes to try to claim our head, we actually can put on a good fight. All right, so looks like we got a hostile civ here. They don't have any hostile units just yet, because the one that's in the camp right here, he's gonna just chill there. He's not gonna come out and attack us. So we got lucky right now. As soon as it's our turn again, we're gonna have him run away. And as far as these choices, I'm probably gonna go with the gold here, because we'll lose production in our capital, and in the early game we want to keep pumping stuff out. So I don't want to really just grab that. And I'm also more inclined to get the gold because it'll allow us to purchase a settler with money instead of having to wait for it to be built. All right, we're gonna go ahead and have this scout head to the south and grab these points. And then now that we have our government, or we're about to pick it, we could finally choose a civic. I highly suggest, no matter who you're playing as, to grab mysticism. It's a really good one to grab right away because, well, you'll see in a moment when we actually unlock stuff for it. Alright, so I'm trying to think here. Let's get a warrior, just because we do see a hostile civ, so we want to have it here in defense just in case. And now, this is a very big change from Civ 6, where you get to choose a government. However, they work a little bit differently here. Each of them have 2 separate bonuses that you can enable, but only when you do a celebration. So every time you celebrate, you can get one of these buffs for 10 turns. And it's going to be really important for us, no matter what we're picking, because obviously when we celebrate, we're going to get all that free cavalry. In this case, elephants, and eventually we'll have a big stampede. Now, I have been testing this build quite a bit for a while, and I've been using despotism for a little bit, because we get like that science boost. We don't really care about the infantry production, so it's always going to be science here. However, I'm thinking this time I'm going to try Classical Republic, because I've been having a lot of success with this on my Egypt runs with Isabella, but she's pretty cracked if you have the right start, so... Honestly, you can't really go wrong with any of these. These are all pretty good. Oligarchy is really good to help grow your cities and towns, and then eventually purchase your cities quicker. And also, you're going to be building a lot too, so Oligarchy is really good. Honestly, all 3 of these are really good. But with this Civ particularly, we're not really worried about the infantry, so it's really only the science is the thing that we're interested in here. So it doesn't really matter what you go for here. I'm going to go with the Classical Republic this time because I want to test some stuff, mostly with the Wonder production. So we're going to go with the Classical Republic this time around. Now, and every time you have a celebration, or when you first get your government, you get to put your policies here, and we'll unlock new policies every time we get different civics and technologies. So we're going to go ahead and start with tool making to get production and science in our palace. And I'm a little long-winded, but you know, I'm just trying to explain to folks who've never seen a civ before. All right, let's go ahead and head down here. Looks like we got some desert, some horses. Horses are really important for us, because horses in this game, instead of needing them to be able to create cavalry units, now they will just give us a good bonus to our cavalry. So the more horses we have, the stronger our cavalry will be. And I'm kind of wanting to be risky here and just move our scout to this side. Hopefully he doesn't have a warrior over here to close this in, and we can run past here and keep going. Alright, looks like we found another civ here. Yeah, looks like we got Napoleon, so it's going to bring up the screen here. This is one of our AI opponents. And they're going to do all kinds of things to mess with us, or perhaps befriend us, using their influence and probably eventually their armies. And right now I'm not... So you can spend some influence right now to improve your relations, so we can potentially befriend them. Because a lot of times on the harder difficulties, they're really aggressive, but I don't care. I want to save my influence right now, because once we get enough, we can start investing in these little city-states here and make them our friends, and that's going to be really important. Well, not really important, it's just really nice. And also, now that we have gotten past these mountains, I'm going to go do another search here, see if we can't find some goodies. Okay, looks like we got 2 right here. We got a tent camp and a cave, so we're going to head that direction. Looks like Napoleon's over here, so we'll need to keep that in consideration. Honestly, we might actually just befriend Samarkand just so they can kind of be as a buffer against them. Also getting a... so Samarkand's also a economy civ, you can tell by that little gold icon. You'll see the other icons from the other ones as soon as we discover them. Alright, and as for our first technology after pottery, we're going to go with writing, because we want to unlock the library here, so we can generate more science per turn, which will in turn give us more technology. Alright, hopefully we can go ahead and snag this cave and this tent camp before Napoleon does. Hopefully he doesn't see it yet. Most likely he doesn't. Alright, we're going to grab this campfire. Normally I would go with the science, but I want to get this culture out, because I want to try to get our mysticism out as soon as possible. And after that, it'll be pure science from then on out. And you'll see why in a second, once we get the mysticism. Alright, looks like he sees this one. Hopefully he doesn't. Ooh. Okay, so this is interesting. So, some of the other choices you can get while you pick up these discoveries is you can change this into a node. So like we can turn this into a silver resource if you want. Or we can just take the money up front. So it's something to consider if you think you might actually build a city near this location. Now, honestly, it's not looking too bad. We got iron over here, gypsum, potentially silver, horses, and I think there's something else here too. So I think we might actually do that. Although grabbing the gold would be really good too, so we can really speed up our city production. I'm going to turn it into a silver node for now. Alright, looks like he sees inside camp. Oh, cool. So we got a flood. So all these tiles got bonuses. We gotta be careful because sometimes it can break some of our districts as well as our units. Alright. Here, I'm gonna go up here and try to grab this before Napoleon does. And then we'll go down here and search some more. Okay. Keep making our way over to this cave so we can try to acquire it before he gets it. Oh, he's totally lost. He did not see that one. Excellent. So let's go ahead and grab this encampment. Maybe there's some gold? Yeah, there is. 100 gold. That's super worth it, and it's going to take a lot of damage to our scouts, so we got to be careful not to, get him murdered. Alright, so now we have enough growth to go ahead and extend to get these lovely ivory. And then we also have our warrior now. We'll probably set him over this direction just to kind of like ward off the hostile civ until it becomes our friend. And then now we can also build a district. And districts work a little bit differently here. Hey Nadiri, how you doing? It's been a long time since we've been live and actually been agreeing with us. I decided to just turn off the Twitch side of things so that way I can just focus on just streaming on YouTube. Hopefully my internet doesn't crap out later. Yeah, so districts are really cool in Civ 7 because now there's a lot of different things called ageless buildings, and there's also some temporary buildings. All of these can become districts. And then on top of that, you can build another building with the district and it becomes a quarter. It's a whole system. And there's like different adjacency bonuses to get a lot of good yields and things like that to help really snowball your economy and your cities as long as you do proper planning. So right off the bat here, we have a brickyard, which will get bonuses from clay pits, mines, and quarries. And as well as getting from our wonders once we start building those. So it looks like I'm going to put a brickyard right here, because also the other thing too is, so if you look, we can only put districts next to us. And then if you put it, and once you build a district, you can start putting districts next to each other, so you can kind of chain them all over the place. So we're going to build this brickyard here, and then I want to try to get the granary next to this camp here, as well as this, well, hang on a second. Got clay pits, that. There's no, I'm trying to read the bonuses here. Okay, so interesting. So maybe we can find some stuff here, but it's alright. We'll just put the brickyard here anyway so we can get some production. And because we settled on this piece with the district, we can now move that tile we had originally. Because now this is an urban tile, what we had was a rural. So now we go ahead and place it somewhere else if we so desire. And then there's another thing as well. You have to have your rural tiles chained together, or your resources. So like say if we built our rural tile here and then put the district there, we wouldn't be able to keep going this direction. If well, A, if we don't own the land, but B, you need to have them chained together, otherwise they'll get cut off from that district. So we're going to go and place it on this chicken here, so that way we can access... Ooh, we got incense. That's perfect. That's going to be really nice. So we're definitely going to need to get a city here so we can get that incense. That's really important. What that will do is give us more science. And then we got wine here as well. This is looking like a really good start. My necromancy gizzard for Balding Gate 3. It's fun to watch. Enjoyed it. Hell yeah. Honestly, we might come back to Baldur's Gate 3 with the new patch. Like, I was having fun with the early access to the patch, but I think I'm going to just do some Civ 7 videos in the meantime, and then once patch 8 finally drops, I might do another necromancy run for Baldur's Gate 3. But I'll probably end up doing oh, son of a bitch. Oh, there goes that scout. That warrior's definitely going to kill him. Unless he goes for Napoleon's scout, but I highly doubt it. He's probably going to kill us. Rip. Oh, look at that. We found Himiko, and she's about to grab this, but we stole it from her. Eat shit. Yep, cool, don't care. Thanks. We'll probably end up befriending her, though, because she's a pretty nice civ that's easy to befriend, and she gets some bonuses. Yep, that scout's definitely dead. Rip. I'll scout with this warrior. He doesn't have the best vision, but I just want to see if there's a good potential spot for another city, because that's going to be a really good spot for a granary. especially with that incense nearby. Oh damn, we got Pachacuti from the south now. Wait, is that Pach? Oh, it just messed up their stuff there. So this is the leader of the Inca guys. He's probably playing as... Who's he playing as? He's playing as the Mayans, I believe. Alright, interesting. So he's somewhere south. We got wine here too. Alright, so I'm seeing some potential cities. One right here, and then maybe one down here. Let's move a little bit more to the east and find out. Oh, did somebody snag it? They did. Let's go and do some searching.
There is like
Ooh, now this changes things. This is a really cracked wonder. So, wonders are awesome, you know, features in the land. In particular, this one's the Grand Canyon. It's really good. It gives us lots of culture and happiness, which we want. But more importantly, whenever you have any cities next into the, incorporated with this wonder, you'll get +2 science on every flat land, and typically it's in the middle of the desert, which will have a lot of flat land. Alright, we're definitely going to need to expand to the west there. Holy crap, that's pretty big. Oh, also, now that we have 170 influence, we can go ahead and talk to this neutral civ here, and we can befriend it. Alright, Nerdy, what did you say? A full party of necromancers, 1 Spore Druid, 1 Death Domain Cleric, 1 Oathbreaker Paladin, and 1 Necromancy Wizard. Honestly, I think I might replace the Oathbreaker Paladin with the Hexblade. I think they're way cooler for Necromancy builds than the Oathbreaker. Especially with how crazy those Spectres are they can make. Alright, looks like somebody snagged this one, so we'll head down to here. And potentially that one as well. Okay, not a terrible city there. Alright, so this is the reason why we wanted to rush Mysticism. Hopefully we can still get what we wanted. First we'll grow our city here. Oh, you can't even grab the wine. That sucks. Unfortunate. I guess let's go up here towards the elephants. We're gonna choose our next civic. I'm gonna go with... I want to say Discipline, just so we can get our free commander, and that's the whole thing as well. And then, so here's the reason why we wanted to rush our Pantheons. Or Mysticism, so we can choose a Pantheon. And these are some interesting bonuses that will apply to your altar, which is another district you can make. There's all kinds of cool strategies and combinations that you can do. With this build in particular, I really like getting the happiness ones. So Sacred Waters, which will benefit from being near coastal river or coastal tiles like these ocean tiles or these big thick rivers. But also, because we're Marian, we can pick up 2 Pantheons. In which case, I like picking up Earth Goddess just to be a little bit well-rounded if we have a lot of mountains. If I don't see a lot of mountains, then I usually will tend to favor City Patron Goddess, or maybe the God of Healing, or really anything. God of the Sun's an okay one, but if I want to double down on the water, we could do God of the Sea and Sacred Waters, and you can do some cool stuff with that. There's a lot of really cool different variants if you want to do, or that you could go with, but I'm just going to go crazy on the happiness here, so we're going to go Sacred Waters with Earth Goddess, because we're greedy, and also we found that wonder too, and the Earth Goddess scales from